TitleMatchNetwork.com.
And then right after that, we picked up. It really took about that long. Business was down in North Carolina at that time. And Flair was traveling as a champion. We got him back, and Dusty came in as the booker like in September or something. And Jimmy had 3 bookers, one for each state. And that wasn't working. It wasn't really a good idea. Then when Dusty came in, Dusty was trying to do some certain things. And he called me into his office. We were in Richmond, Virginia, and he called me in. He said, "What do you do?" He said, "You've been a booker. What do you do to get this thing going?" And I told him point blank. I said, "You put the best against the best. That's the way you do it.
Right.
You take your best performers and put them out there against each other, and it'll work." And he said, "Well, Dusty," he said, "Wahoo had come to him and wanted to do a program with him." Well, Wahoo, I love Wahoo to death, but he was trying to take care of Wahoo, and I understand that. I said, "Dust, this is my take on the deal." I said, "You got Flair, you got you got me, you got you." I said, "You put Wahoo and Flair together and let them go beat the piss out of each other. And I said, you put me against you because I'm going to make you look the best."
That's one of my questions.
I said, "Wahoo's going to get out there and beat the crap out of you." And so Wahoo worked an angle with Flair, and I worked an angle with Dusty. And we did the thing with the Perfect 10 contest and got Baby Doll.
Right.
Which was not too long after this. And I told Dusty, I said, this is what we do. I said, you come on here, and ever since you've been here on TV, whether it was 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I don't remember. I said, all you've done is gone out and beat people in 30 seconds on TV. I said, what you need to do is, I've got the TV title, and we'd already switched it, I think, we'd got TV in Atlanta, and we switched it to the World Television Championship.
Right.
And I said, Dusty, you go out here, and it's a 20-minute time limit, and you go 20 minutes. Nobody expects you to go 20 minutes, and you do something different than the fans can expect, and it'll be a good 20 minutes, and it'll be better for you and your career. It'll be better for the company, and that's what we did. And I actually, jumping ahead, and I don't know all the questions that you've gotten in mind, but if you look back at it, Dusty devoured heels his whole career. They'd have short runs, and then they were gone. I had the longest run of anybody ever with Dusty, and came out the other side still a star. It was amazing.
Right.
Get beat up for 4 years and very seldom ever win, just occasionally.
Right.
And not get devoured, not kill you, because it killed everybody else. And so I'm going to pat myself on the back for that. But we were very, very successful. The company was very, very successful. And everything worked well.
You think there was ever a problem with Dusty? Because when he was booking, he pushed himself as a top guy. You think that's a problem in the business?
I think that's a problem for anybody that is the booker and the star.
Right.
I needed to, Dusty and I were talking, and that's when I really started to learn all the political Go ahead and move on. How the politics and all the garbage goes on, you know. And see, I've never really done that kind of stuff because when you play football, it is who does the best job. It's really not that political at a younger level. When you get higher, it starts to get a little political. I didn't get high enough to where it actually does get political, but
In the Omni.
Dark Journey, did you prefer her coming out as a valet over Baby Doll or the same? Did you work with
oh
her a
no,
little
Baby
bit?
Baby Doll was one of a kind. They'd had other women managers way long ago. I mean,
Right.
Sheik did it, and Angelo Poffo did it, and it's probably why Randy does it because his dad always did it. But Baby Doll was a unique. It was a phenomena in itself also, and she was by far the hottest valet ever.
She was on.
And we were looking for Sunshine, actually, to be my valet. And over Christmas, we were in Miami, and Nicola was wrestling as the Lady Giant or something. And I looked at her, and Dusty and I went and had a meeting and said, she's it. And when I walked out on television with a 6'2", 215-pound, pretty, photogenic woman and said, this is the most beautiful, perfect woman, it was instant success. And I knew how to make a manager be a manager. I mean, there's most managers are only out for themselves instead of the product.
Right.
And not only did I have the knowledge, but it was job security for myself. If you let the manager have all the heat, then he can have anybody out there getting beat up. So you can't do that. So you had to keep control over certain things. And JJ was kept in check and in that role, and Nicola was too. And she was, nobody ever touched her. I forbid it.
Right.
And the only time she ever did anything was when she handed me something. I think the first time she ever did anything was when and I did it. She actually rolled in the ring, and I used the fire and burnt,
Dusty.
was it Dusty?
Yeah.
I burnt Dusty. She never actually did anything to anybody, but she distracted, and I did the damage.
Right.
So that way, not all the heat went on the manager.
Right.
And then you become a pawn.
Right.
Which is a big mistake that a lot of people make. But again, lack of knowledge. And by not ever letting anybody touch her, it made so much more when Dusty slapped her that one time.
Right.
When Magnum kissed her the one time. You know, it was just it just heightened the emphasis. And so.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.